Hey there, Tiffany Thomas with wealthytiffany.com, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how I purchased my first property. And before we dive in, if you're ready for financial freedom right now, comment freedom below in the comments. And don't forget to hit that button to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the little bell to get notified when I post new videos. And don't forget to like and share this video. So let's dive right in, and I am going to talk about how I purchased my very first property. And this was quite a while ago. In 2005 is when I purchased my very first property, and I was 25, and I had moved out of my parents' house and was living with a few roommates, and I just kept thinking what a good investment it would be to have my own place and have roommates help pay the mortgage because I was single. I still am single. But I just kept thinking that that would be a good investment. And I had a really good friend who was investing in real estate, and he had a lot of properties actually. But I kind of just talked to him a lot about how he bought his first property, how he got started in real estate investing, and how it's been going for him, and just asked him for advice. And, you know, he had told me that he had seen great success with his properties, and that, you know, it was a really great opportunity to not only, you know, have this asset that will appreciate over time, that will increase in value over time, but especially where I am single and I could have other people helping to pay the mortgage payment, that it was a really good time to invest in a house, in a property. And I was nervous, of course, and I was thinking, well, am I gonna stay in this area for a long time? I'm not sure. Like, I don't know where life will lead me. But I knew it was a good area, and I liked living in that area. I wanted to buy in the same area where I was currently living. And yeah, after talking to him, and my sister also worked at a real estate agency. She wasn't an agent, but she did work for a real estate agency at the time. And so I had talked to her about it a little bit, and decided to make that jump. And I guess what kind of really helped me make that jump was seeing the success of others and talking to them and asking questions, seeing what's gone wrong, what regrets they have, what could have been done better, and just really getting all the information that I needed to feel comfortable to buy a property, and realizing that I could always rent this property out later if I wanted to. So I wasn't feeling stressed thinking, oh, what if I need to sell it and the market is down and I'm going to lose all this money? I just kind of thought through, well, I could always rent it out if I want to move somewhere else, or if I need to move somewhere else. And I can still even afford the mortgage payment if I didn't have roommates. So I felt more comfortable about that. And yeah, I just thought it's a really good way to make extra money. And as I've talked about before, you don't want to just have one stream of income. You want multiple sources of income. You never know what can happen if you just have your 9-to-5 job. The company could shut down. That's what happened to me at one of my previous jobs. It was during the downturn of the market, and they ended up closing our office. And so I had lost my job and had to look for a new one. But, you know, if you have other sources of income, then you're not so worried about losing your job or losing your one source of income because you have multiple sources. So you could, kind of rely on another source of income for a little bit until you do find another job. So you're not as stressed. So I knew that investing in property would be a good investment because it would be another source of income. I had roommates that could help me pay for the property, and if I wanted to move out, if I did get married and wanted to, buy a place with my husband, then we could rent out this property and still have income coming in from that property. So I kind of just, thought through all of these things. And another thing was I was a big saver. I wasn't huge into investing yet. And I had saved quite a bit of money. That's just kind of how I am. I'm a saver. There's, different categories, right? There's spenders, there's savers, there's those that ignore the money. And yeah, I fall into the saver category. So I had this money that was in savings, not earning me hardly anything because interest rates were so low. So I just had this chunk of money that wasn't really working for me, which is what I talk a lot about now, is making your money work for you. So I knew this would be a good way to do that because it wasn't working for me. It was just sitting in savings. So I could take this money and put it as a down payment on my property and start making my money work for me. So that was kind of another reason behind buying this property. And yeah, I wasn't really nervous about finding roommates. I mean, sure, I was a little bit anxious, but I knew a lot of single people, because I'm in the single scene. So I felt like there would be people that I could rent the rooms to and not really have too much of a problem with that. And as I have done this again and again and again, I've gotten better at this, and I know that it's easy to find renters. Honestly, easy to find roommates, easy to find renters. It's not a problem. So anyway, I did have a little bit of, I was a little anxious about that, but I knew even if I couldn't find roommates right away, that I could still afford the property and it would still be a good investment for me. So I asked my friend who was already investing in real estate to help me, and we looked at a few different lenders and we got some good faith estimates, so we could see how much their rates were and their interest rates were and how much their closing costs would be. And, I ended up picking one that I felt good about, and I was lucky enough to use an agent that my sister was working with at that real estate company that she was working for. So that was really helpful too. And yeah, and I even, I had fears, I had anxiety about buying it, and I kept thinking, what if it burns down? But then I was like, that's what I have insurance for, right? Or, what if it floods? Well, that's what I have insurance for. And, all of these different thoughts were going through my head. But in the end, the numbers worked out. I did my homework. I knew it would be a good investment. I felt good about it. And I knew that I could make my money work for me using this property, and that I could still have great roommates and, just have this great investment and also have my own place that I could call my own. It wasn't a place that I was renting that I could get kicked out of at any point. It was my own place, and I was just really excited about that. And so, yeah, I ended up, purchasing my first property, and I am so, so glad I did. This property is almost paid off now, and it would have already been paid off, but I've decided to make my money work for me in other ways. So I've bought even more properties. So I put money toward other investments. instead of just paying down that property, because I knew I could make my money work better for me rather than just paying down the property. I've learned a lot by buying my first property, and buying my second property just strictly as a rental was a little bit scary because it was just for a rental. But it wasn't as hard as buying my first property. And then buying the third was even easier, and the fourth was also easier. So I wanted to share this experience with you, and hopefully you can kind of relate if you are thinking about buying your first place. And maybe if you had some questions about how others have done it, what their experience has been, hopefully this is helpful and answered a few of your questions. And if you guys have other questions about how I was able to purchase my first property, please post them below in the comments. I would love to hear them. Or if you'd like to see another type of video about real estate investing or even stock investing, comment below and let me know, and I'd be happy to do another video for you guys that you would like. And if you found this video helpful, please like it and share it with someone else who might want this information. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you guys are really serious about becoming financially free at a young age, click the link below this video in the description and I can help you do that. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks.